farming. So straight away, I'll go to the slides.
Yeah.
Yeah, who we are. Aqua Exchange, founded by IIT graduates. Our company uses cutting edge technology to boost transparency and efficiency across the aquaculture value chain. Our founders have traveled over 2 lakh kilometers to deeply understand farming conditions and farmers' needs. Thereby, we deliver value to aquaculture farmers and related stakeholders. By combining dedicated field associates, a user friendly mobile application, and advanced machine learning technology, our precise data collection provides crucial timely insights throughout the value chain. This is our presence. We monitor over 45,000 acres of aquaculture operations through our PowerMon device, providing comprehensive insights and support across a vast area. As you can see, we are monitoring over 3,500 farms, which includes 15,000 ponds, and we overall save 20,363 tons of carbon dioxide emission. So we are proud to say that. So let us go into the topic right away. Need for technification in shrimp farming. By understanding the farmer's present scenario and their need, we could
Karthik, we are not able to hear you. Karthik, are you there?
also other factors which includes
Karthik,
environmental control
Karthik,
challenges.
Mr.
Yes,
Karthik, we are not able to hear you for the first 1 minute. So start from the beginning of the slide.
yeah. Is it audible now, sir?
Yeah, now it's clear.
Yeah. Need for technification in stream farming. Why is it so? It's like there are a lot of factors which has to be taken care. Inconsistent water quality due to poor monitoring, poor water quality management, inefficient feeding practices, which includes over and underfeeding, thereby increasing the cost of the feed. Because of these two factors, there are larger chance of disease outbreaks. There are also other factors which include environmental control challenges, labor intensity, inadequate record keeping, inefficient water management, energy inefficiency, traceability issues, and safety concerns. In the forthcoming slides, we can see one by one like how we can address this, how we are doing it already. As we all know, shrimp culture, it's like there are four major pillars, which is shrimp, water, energy, and feed. I'm saying it again, it's shrimp, water, energy, and feed. So these are all the four major factors of shrimp culture. I do agree that there are certain other factors which also included for the success in shrimp farming. Those are all site selection, water source, water parameters, soil parameters, biosecurity, seed quality, feed and input quality, manpower and management, cost of production. So let me explain how we encounter all these things. So we divide it to shrimp, water, energy, and feed. Shrimp. As we all know, seed selection is a crucial part. So one, if he selects the sleeve perfectly, then half he has crossed the path. So what the solution we have for our farmers, for all our onboarded farmers, we carry a microscope along with them. We carry a sampling tub along with them. What we do at the hatchery is like through microscopy, we check and confirm all the PL quality parameters are up to the mark. During the packing, our sampling tub that is called a shrimp studio, which enhances the farmers to check the precise count. So let us have it as a two phases. One is pre-stocking, where we do this. uh, benefits to the farmer by providing a microscope analysis and stream studio. And once the seed is stocked in about 45 to 50 DOC, when the farmers goes for sampling, we monitor certain parameters of the shrimp digitally. So as we all see, it's like we are promoting a digital monitoring for most of the farmers who have a vast area of farming in different places. So as you can see, the tub, it was used for PL counting, nursery, and as well as shrimp. In shrimp, you can see like by we will figure out certain things of feed consumption by saying that whether it has a empty gut or discontinuous gut, and certain other clinical signs by having a simple image. So as I was mentioning, this is the aqua lens where we take care of the PL quality. And if it comes to the shrimp, on a weekly basis, our field technicians do a wet mount of HP and gut health. Along with this, the water quality also is monitored through plankton analysis. Feed monitoring. We have a very beautiful solution for feed monitoring. Nowadays, the dispensing is through either manual or auto feeder. So aquaboard, a small introduction, aquaboard is a replacement for manual feeding. And static feeder is a completely automated feeder. And let us not go much into it. So I'm just dividing the feed dispensing methods which is available now. So feed entry monitoring. Here, the dispensing is both the aquabat and static feeder is IoT based devices where you can operate it from your mobile onwards. You can enter the feed, how much it has to dispense. You can operate, you can monitor the functionality of the same. Feed entry monitoring. We have smart scale where the smart scale will be controlled by a mobile
ఫ్యాన్ వేస్తున్నా
application.
కదా.
We feed the smart scale, like for example a farmer is having 10 different ponds, we send the message to the smart scale like each and every pond should be fed with this many number of kgs. So it's a RFID based scale where a farm person or a feed boy can go and tap a RFID on top of the smart scale. It says that 10 kg for pond 1, 15 kg for pond 2. So once it is verified from the smart scale end, again the farmer will be getting a message to the mobile saying that all the feed given is entered over there. So how the feed is managed, let us see. Like it's a cycle where the feed is fed to the smart scale, verified through the mobile application, dispensed to manual feeding, static feeder, and aquabot. And once the feeding is done, as we all know, check tray is the one which is playing a crucial part. How we handle this check tray, let me explain you. As you all know, it's like only we divide the check tray observation or check tray monitoring into only four different parts. One is shrimp with feed, shrimp without feed, no shrimp, no feed, shrimp without feed. These are all the four major factors which we divide the check tray observation. So if this four parts is taken care, in my forthcoming slides regarding the next form application, I'll be explaining in detail about the check tray observation as well. So how we monitor the water. So Watermon is an IoT based device where the pH and DO twice daily monitored and the data are featuring in the mobile app specific to the ponds. Pro Brew Master, it's a if I have to say in a simple words, fermentation happens in a controlled condition. That is what is needed for most of us. Then we do plankton analysis, as I mentioned earlier, on weekly basis. And even the ammonia nitrate observation data can also be integrated in the mobile application. Okay, let us come into the fourth factor, which is energy and power. Through our device, 20% of power bill reduction is there, as most of farmer claims the same, and it is been there for many years. So through our power monitoring device, we can monitor the power failure. It also creates alerts whenever there is a power failure. Even generator operation can also be checked through these devices. Even if your generator is switched on after the power has come, you'll be getting an alert for the same. Your aerator running, your aerator operation or breakdown in aerators can also be checked through our devices for energy and power. So I have covered all the four factors, and I have also explain what are all the solution we have presently giving for the farmers. So I'm directly taking you to the next for mobile application. So as I said, like all these IoT devices are monitored through the mobile. You can operate through the mobile. So what the app exactly is? In the app, you can enter your farm details, you can enter the stocking details, you can give the feeding details, you can observe the check tray through the app, and the check tray images comes to the application. So as I was mentioning earlier, how we monitor the check tray. It's like once a farmer has given feed, it is been dispensed into the farm. After an hour, check tray is observed. So we have a QR code placed in the catwalk. So it's like no other option. The farm person has to go and he has to scan the QR codes. He'll be capturing the check tray. The same image will be uploaded here. Depending on that, he can increase or decrease the feed. So this is what it is. It says like what is the given feed, what is the leftover feed, what is the consumed feed percentage. So that is a small calculation. As we all know, like what our feed is leftover, it is is the wet feed, and from that we will be calculating the dry feed. Initially, most of the farmers used to collect all the feed. They'll be weighing it, and once they weigh, they'll be calculating the leftover percentage. Accordingly, they will be changing the feeds. But here we have an option where it is calculated digitally, and you can, depending on the previous meal consumption, you can alter the meal for the next. So what are all the other options we have in the mobile application? You can see what is the feed data and what is the summary data and what is the overall netting data. You can compare anytime, because you need to have a if it is done by paper, you need to carry certain books, but in one mobile you can do everything right from stocking till harvest. So we collect samples from the farmers who are onboarded with us, who are engaged with us on weekly basis. We do all the plankton analysis, hepatopancreatic analysis, gut analysis, and we prepare the report and update in the mobile. So the farmer, once he clicks the image, report is in front of them. So let me take you to the dashboard. Earlier, the mobile, which is used to be at the farmer's end, dashboard, which is used to be at our end. What we do here in the dashboard, let me explain. So this is the overall summary of a particular farm where it has information about what are all the IoT devices installed and how many acres and what are the active ponds and how much of the stock is available. And this is the IoT monitoring, and like it shows what is the device info, what is the status of the IoT devices, and what are all the other IoT devices installed, and what is the status of the same. And here's the summary of a farm, which has a complete data, which includes DOC, biomass, and what is the total consumed feed. We'll also check what is the feed oscillations from one pond to another. So as I said, like check tray observation, we recruited farm coordinators who will be observing 500 acres each. We have 10 of them placed in the office who used to observe the check tray, and they'll be communicating with the farmers if there is any leftover feed. So these FCs who've been placed in our office, in my cabins, like Whenever they get images from our field support staff, they'll see they are experts in the plankton observations and the hepatopancreatic and gill observations, and they'll generate the report, send it from here in the dashboard, and it reaches the farmer's mobile. So this is the hepatopancreas report. This is the gut report. So let me take you a quick tour about our office. So these are all like a few of farmers' happiness index. I'm sharing with you.
నా పేరు కృష్ణంరాజు. ఇది తుమ్మలపల్లి విలేజ్. ప్రీవియస్గా 5 ఎకరాలు చేసేవాళ్ళమే. ఇప్పుడు ఇది అప్రాక్సిమేట్గా 15 to 16 ఎకరాస్ ఉంది. కల్చర్ అనేది ఒక 5 years నుంచి చేస్తున్నాం ఇది. అయితే ఇది ఆక్వా ఎక్స్చేంజ్ ద్వారా మనం ఫీడర్లు బాగా యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాం 1 year నుంచి. ఫీడర్ అయితే బాగుంది ఇప్పుడు, ఎందుకంటే మంచిగా స్ప్రెడ్డింగ్ అవుతుంది. లేబర్ వర్క్ కూడా బాగా తగ్గుతుంది. రెండేసి ట్యాంకుల కాడికి ఒక మనిషిని పెడుతున్నాం ఫీడర్స్ ఉన్నందువల్ల. సీడు ప్లస్ అన్ని ఐటమ్స్ ఆక్వా ఎక్స్చేంజ్లో అవైలబుల్ ఉంది.
నా పేరు శ్రీకాంత్. మేము ఆక్వా కల్చర్ చేస్తున్నాం రామపురం విలేజ్లో. 3 years బ్యాక్ 4 acres చేసాం. అప్పటి నుంచి తర్వాత మాకు నెక్స్ట్ ఆక్వా ఎక్స్చేంజ్ అనే కంపెనీ మాకు సపోర్ట్ ఇచ్చి 4 acres అనేది ఈ 3 yearsలో 2.5 acres బిలో చేస్తున్నాం. మాకు పవర్ మోన్ అనేది 3 years బ్యాక్ వచ్చింది. మనకి వన్ ఇయర్ అవుతుంది స్టార్టర్స్ వచ్చాయి. అలాగా నెక్స్ట్ ఇప్పుడు ఆక్వా బోట్ అని ఫీడ్ మిషన్స్ వచ్చాయి. ఆ ఫీడ్ మిషన్స్ వల్ల మనకు బాగా పర్ఫెక్ట్స్ కనబడుతున్నాయి. నెక్స్ట్ మనకి ఆక్వా బోట్ అనేది వర్షం పడినా నెక్స్ట్ మనకి ఫీడు సైజ్ వేరియేషన్ లేకుండా మామూలు మన రైస్ సాగుకి చాలా ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. మనకి బాగా సపోర్టుగా ఆక్వా ఎక్స్చేంజ్ బాగా ఇస్తున్నారు.
To summarize, early warning system alerts for deviation from optimal conditions to prevent issues. I was talking about the power on devices and the APFC, which is for the power reduction. And when we are seeing the earlier slides, what are all the limitations? So let me summarize how we have covered it through our technology updation. Automated feeding management, it's an IoT based feeders optimize feed based on real time data. Health and disease monitoring, detection of stress or disease signs through behavior and movement analysis. Centralized data collection, real time and historical data collection for analysis and decision making. Automation of process, remote control, and automation of system like aeration and waste removal. So, as we all know, prevention is better than cure. Technology is always for sure. That is how I end up with.
నా పేరు శ్రీకాంత్. మేము ఆక్వా
నా పేరు
కల్చర్
కృష్ణంరాజు.
చేస్తాం.
ఇది తుమ్మలపల్లి విలేజ్.
Yeah, Karthik.
Yes.
Yeah, very good presentation, Karthik. I have few questions.
Yes.
First thing is you have two types of auto feeders,
Yeah.
and the feed management is different for all the two, right?
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
especially check trip monitoring. Can you highlight on that?
Yeah. When it comes to static feeder, the check tray monitoring is on hourly basis. For example, if you give a feed of about 100 kg in the feeder, and the number of feeding schedule will be 6 to 7, depending upon the feed consumption. We start the feeding around 7 o'clock in the morning. So check tray observation will be at the 8 o'clock. So once the feed is any feed is left over, the next feed will be reduced depending on it. So it is not like how much of feed is left over in the tray. It's about whether the feed is available or unavailable in the tray. So this is regarding the static feeder what we have. That's the automatic feeder. So it is applicable, or it is suitable for those farmer who is willing to observe check tray every 1 hour. If the observation is done on early basis, it is a very crucial and vital part. It saves a lot of feed wastage. So most of the farmer who are using static feeder have uh, achieved 1.1 FCR even at 30 count with 95% survival.
Good.
If I have to say about aqua feeder, it is almost a replica of a manual feeder. It has a 4 mil plan, and the check rate monitoring is the same as the manual feedings.
Okay, good. Can you give the cost comparison?
Cost comparison, I think I may not be the right
Okay,
person
good,
to
good,
talk
good.
about the financial thing. If you are interested, we can take it as a separate webinar for the cost comparison and other uh, operations what we do.
Okay, okay. So if there are any questions, please unmute yourself and you can ask or you can type in the comment box. There is a question from Gulami. The range of pH and DO for good production.
pH optimal range is 7.5 to 8.5, and DO is somewhere around 4 to 8 ppm is ideal.
Okay. There is a question from Balaram. FCR
Yeah.
comparison between manual feeding and auto feeding.
Yeah, I was telling it earlier, no, sir. For auto feeder, yeah, especially for static feeder, the observation is on hourly basis. It's like you feed the shrimp, it eats. If it doesn't eat, you are immediately reducing the feed. But in case of manual feeding, you are almost like uh, uh, feeding it double the time, or when it is exactly compared to an auto feeder. So definitely the FCR will be less in static feeder comparing to a manual feeder.
Okay, there is a one more
So
question.
I'm not,
Okay,
yeah,
go ahead, please.
yeah. It's like we cannot compare with the exact figures, but what I would like to say is if the monitoring on hourly basis is uh, managed perfectly at the farm level, definitely there will be a reduced FCR comparing to a manual feeding.
Yeah, and there is a question on
Yes,
feed mixing with auto feeders. Is there any problem? Suppose if they want to
feed
apply
mixing.
yeah, top dress, say particular C vitamin and all.
Yeah.
So
Uh, the calibration part should be taken care when it comes with respect to feed mixing, because most of the cases or most of the incidents because of feed mixing, like if it is less than 5%, the variation, like what is the total overall weight of the feed is less than 5%, there should not be any problem. If the feed mixing is more than, it is increasing the total weight of the feed more than 5%, means it has to be calibrated prior to loading in the auto feeders. Because uh, I don't think I have clearly answered this. In short, if I have to say, uh, do your feed additives prior to weighing, and depending on the weight you feed it to the feeder, so there should not be any problem. Yeah,
so there is another question from Balaram. How many
yeah,
auto feeders are recommended per unit uh, per unit area? Like, see, auto feeder number of auto feeders is based on the number of the shrimp or size of the pond.
yeah. If I have to answer this exactly, one static feeder can feed up to 2.5 lakhs of shrimp. The radius of spreading is 8 to 10 meters. So you can plan depending upon the requirement.
Okay. So again, can you elaborate on timing? How many hours we have
Timing,
to run the auto feeder?
yes, sir. If I have to summarize, uh, before you start the auto feeder, check the DO. If it is more than 4 ppm, you can start feeding it. So the first meal will be almost relevant to the last meal what you have given on the previous day. And once the feeding is given, every hour you'll be keep on checking it. At the time when you find like a consecutive check trace are not consumed, the feed at the consecutive check trace are not consumed properly, it is better to stop the feeding at the point of time.
And there is another question. How much maximum density for these auto feeders?
Density, you can go up to 2.5 lakhs of seed um, per 6,000 square meter.
Okay.
That is 1.5 acres.
Okay, good. So can you elaborate on Powerman, how much a farmer can save?
If a farmer's bill is around 1 lakh a month through APFC, that is automatic power factor controller, his bill comes down to 80,000 rupees. It's almost 20% of saving.
Okay, good. So really very good thing. And there is one question. How about wetness of feed with the feed mix? Will it affect the feeding machine performance? I think you already answered it, but anyhow. Uh,
Yeah,
mm,
it actually the auto feeder it is designed in such a way, it's like LLDP material which is a double coated. Whatever you fed inside, it doesn't make any change. Why? Because no environmental condition can affect inside the feeder. Only thing is you have to be very crucial before feeding it, how much the feed mixer have been given. If it is appropriate, once you fed into the auto feeder, it is not going to make any change. It is only before you feed into the feeders. Like what is the consistency of the feed? It's like it should not be very saggy or and sort of things.
okay, with all the systems, what about the success rate of the farmers?
Sir, as we all know, like we have technology, it is the success rate depends upon how good we are using it. Almost like farmers are happy. If I have to say, if I cannot rate the percentage or I cannot able to give you the numbers, but whoever is interested, if I have to say, most of the farmers were initially not ready to scan a scanner and take a photo of a check tray. But once he start receiving the number of photos in his mobile, and he has accessibility to see the same picture in a day or two, he himself is insisting the people at the farm to take it. This is one kind of incidents where the technology is helping the farmers to monitor his own farm remotely and as well as more efficiently. So if a farmer does this and if he takes care of his feed management, definitely he'll be in the success path.
Yeah, there is another question from Balaram. What is the minimum diameter of the feed can be used in auto feeder?
Uh, Minimum diameter, I have to check out with my technical team regarding that.
Okay. So there is another question. Are you limited with AP farmers, or if any farmers from Tamil Nadu or other states can also be roped in?
Yes, of course. That I'll speak with my chief business officer. Already we have placed our devices in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka as well. So I can get back to you for this. You can contact me. I'll have a chat with my CBO and get back to you on this.
Okay. Regarding this hepatopancreas condition you are monitoring,
Yes.
so based on the hepatopancreas condition, what are the decisions you can take?
Depending on the hepatopancreatic condition, we normally don't complicate when we are communicate to the farmer. Sir, what we say is like, sir, feed consumption is not there. It is consuming the algae. So we can tell the farmer and create an alert like his shrimps are eating the dead algae or the pond bottom. That is one decision. And if we have to save the level of lipids is coming down on weekly basis, he may encounter in armors or other outbreaks. So on through the to the constriction, we can also see the severity from one week to the other. So these are all the observation we monitor here and update to the farmers.
So another question, can we use live yeast regularly in aquaculture? It's a general question and not regarding
It's
to,
very generic.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
it's very generic.
so I have a question.
Sir, I think you are the right person to answer this.
Yeah, regularly it's not required. Um, do you give solutions to? There is a question from Selvam Subramaniam. Do you give solutions to? I mean,
Yes, of course we do.
yeah,
Yes, of course we do. Very very narrow solutions to the farmers.
yeah. So
It's
another
not
question on,
very specific.
yeah,
Yeah.
another question on your uh, Pro Brew Master.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the size of it? For how many acres it is suitable?
It's a 5 liter brewing can be fed to 10 pond of acre size. It's
Okay.
like half-liter per acre is the dosage.
Okay. Good. So I have a general question.
Yes, sir.
So in comparison to Ecuador,
Yeah.
where do we stand in the availability of technology and implementation of technology?
We are far ahead, sir.
We are far ahead in,
Technology availability is there.
okay,
Uh, it takes few more years for 100% adoption is what I have in my mind personally, sir. The
okay,
adoption is there. It keeps on improving. So definitely within few upcoming years, there will be 100% adoption towards the technology.
okay. So thank you, Mr. Karthik. If any questions are there, we have a few more minutes. Is there any specialized health test for PL doing by Aqua Exchange other than that what we are presently doing from the labs?
To answer this, it's not a special kind of test we do. We do the PL monitoring, so which is very general test. We take like what is the muscle gut ratio, how the hepatopancreas are, what is the gill development, whether there is necrosis in the gill or any other appendages. MGR is good. So only those kind of tests what we do to the farmers. But how we are helping them is if a farmer goes to a hatchery, he'll be having a choice of selecting seeds. Instead of taking all the bags to the lab, he can do it in the hatchery site itself. So that is how we are helping them. And even if you take some 3 4 hours to travel to a laboratory, the level of lipids in the hepatopancreas may come down, which may also reflect the results of the feed intake. So by doing in the hatchery itself can give you a more efficient result, is what I feel.
Okay. So there is another question from Selvam Subramaniam.
Yeah.
Whether we should go for all your equipment at a time or you can buy any of it?
Sir, actually, if for the farmers who are under credit with us, it have a scope of a full stack services.
Okay. So there is another question. What about wear and tear? Maybe it's related to service,
Yeah.
spare parts, service, etc. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I do agree. It's like as I was earlier telling about We have almost 100 field engineers placed in Andhra Pradesh. So whenever there is a issue, it will be addressed in a day or two.
Okay. So there is another
So
question.
mostly,
Yeah,
yeah,
please.
mostly like for the entire crop, 70% of the farmer didn't find any issues, and the rest, whenever there is an issue addressed, it will be rectified immediately.
And another question is how to start getting your surveys. If somebody wants your
Uh,
survey, how to whom do they have to
you can
approach?
reach out us. We are placed at Anaman Junction near Vijayawada. You can reach out to us, and you can reach me out over the phone. I can help you out in this.
Yeah, there is the same phone number 9597
Yeah,
829499.
yeah, I'm
And the
available
same
in the same phone.
email karthik@aquaexchange.com.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think there are no more questions. We can sum it up. So thank you very much, Karthik,
Yeah.
for an extensive presentation, detailed presentation on technification of shrimp farming. And see, two things are very important things. One is carbon emission and record keeping. These two things
Yeah.
help in improving our brand value, brand establishment in other countries. See, most of the
Yeah.
consumers, they look for the sustainability things like carbon emission, social responsibility, like that. And there is one thing missing in Indian shrimp farmers is traceability, and this
Yeah.
keeping can help a lot in that direction. So, and regarding shrimp monitors, most of the farmers, what they do is they buy fish seed from the hatcheries.
Yeah.
Hatcheries are giving, sometimes they're giving too much bonus, but farmers are
Mhm.
feeding only to the net. So in a way, they are
Yeah.
underfeeding it. If they are giving too much of underfeeding, they eat too much of sludge. If they're eating sludge,
Yeah.
bacterial load will be more. EHP spores can go inside, and it may cause problems. So this helps a lot in proper estimation of seed count and proper feeding. So thanks a lot, and I thank you all the participants for their active participation. Thank you once again.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, sir. Pleasure is mine. Thank you.
Thank you. And one more thing, this video recording will be available on our YouTube channel. If you want to watch it again, please go through it. And in future, we will make a video of individual product in detail so that it will be easy for you to appreciate. So thank you. Thank you once again on behalf of Novachem Biosciences. Bye.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.